Leave your suggestions down below in the comment section, and in the future, I'll come up with a video. I'll make a video, record myself of carrying your suggested EDC items. That would be a cool video, cool little interactive video between me and you guys. That'll be awesome. So leave them down below in the comments. If you have any suggestions on anything else, please be sure to leave it down below in the comment section. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is William, the Permaculture Consultant, and today we're going to be talking about 10-ish items that every man should think about carrying if you're not already carrying them. Doesn't mean you're not a man if you're not carrying them. I'm not claiming to be like some of those other guys on YouTube. Doesn't mean you're not a man if you don't carry them, but they're things you should take into consideration or alternatives of what I have here today. Now, what is EDC? It is preparedness for the day. You are prepared to tackle the day and whatever it throws at you, basically. Now, speaking of preparedness, Midwest Preparedness Conference, it's in May. It's a free event. Can't wait to see you guys there. I'm going to be there. TJ from Bear Independent's going to be there. Joel Salatin's going to be there. Completely free. Just register on their website down below so they know you're coming. And Kentucky Sustainable Living Conference. That's in June, and that's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Can't wait to see you guys there. All the details are linked down below. It's going to be awesome. And if you need an on-site permaculture consultation, hit up the email down below. That's where I come to your property. And depending on your terrain, depending on what you want to do, I give you guys a plan of attack. What to do, when to do it, and what order to do it in. And then you also have me on retainer afterwards for any questions that pop up along your homesteading/farming journey. So with that being said, let's continue on with the video. Now, since we just got done talking about Kentucky Sustainable Living, we're going to start off with first aid first. Now, the thing that I always carry in my pocket, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm going, is a tourniquet. Especially doing what I do. I'm a homesteader, a farmer, a permaculture consultant, all the above. A tourniquet just makes good sense. Being able to stop the bleed, and we'll get into it in a minute, but if you're able to put holes in people, you should be able to close those holes up as well, because you never just know what's going to happen. So one thing I always keep in my right cargo pocket is a tourniquet. And they do make smaller tourniquets and stuff that, fit in, smaller spaces and stuff, things that are less bulky. Now, I have a couple of different tourniquets. So I keep this one in my pocket, but I also keep a smaller tourniquet on me as well. Now, this tourniquet right here, I got from Chuck Peoples. He's an awesome guy. Check out Chuck Peoples. He does like first aid stuff all over the United States. This is a child tourniquet. So I can use it on adults, but it's also safe to use on children so you don't damage their growth plates if you have to apply a tourniquet to children. And I usually keep it just on the front of my backpack in that container right there. This tourniquet right here, it's just a cat tourniquet. Very simple, very easy to use. Definitely learn how to use it, but it also doesn't take up much space and can be folded up to a more compact size. They also make smaller ones. Check them out. Something else I carry in my backpack that I just showed you guys is this little small first aid kit, basically. Like, you open it up, it's waterproof to begin with. You open it up, but it has first aid, burn cream, bandages, knuckle bandage, instruction sheet, more bandages, alcohol wipes, antiseptic wipes, pain reliever, stuff like that. And this just goes in my backpack. It's pretty lightweight, doesn't take up much space, and it has a waterproof container. And then it just locks in like this. I don't really use this little, rope or anything like that, but this is one of the options that I have. And this is something this was my main first aid kit for a while, until Jason over at Kentucky Sustainable Living sent me the truck bag, which has like everything you need in it. And they sell these over at the Kentucky Sustainable Living website. So I'll leave them linked down below. And it's for a very, very good price. I've seen bags like this go for easily 4 to 5 times the price of what they have these guys listed at. You got your trauma shears on the front. And then as you open it up, more stuff starts popping out. And this is like more of a general take care of everything that's going on type bag. You got another tourniquet here. You have the ouch pouch, which I love the name of that, the ouch pouch. Got Band-Aids, burn cream, stuff like that. You got gauze, you got bandages, you got chest seals, you got more gauze, you got tape, you got like literally everything. Cold packs, hot packs, you got a splint, you got antiseptic cream, wound care cream, you got literally everything. You got this more rubber gloves, you got a high strength pressure bandage, like you got everything you could possibly need no matter what the event is, all wrapped up in this very, very convenient bag right here. The bag itself is worth the price that they have it listed for on their website. Like, they're trying to make it accessible to as many people as possible. They know that there's a bunch of like high dollar, high priced med bags or first aid bags and stuff like that. They were trying to do the opposite, but still maintain high quality. And that's exactly what they did. Check them out. It goes to helping some very awesome, cool people. Shelly and Jason over at KSL are awesome, fantastic people. Shelly, I actually did. You guys hear that? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it sounds like a fake wolf. That's wild. But anyways, back on topic. Shelly actually did a consultation for years ago, and she is the absolute, one of the best people to do a consultation for because she sticks to the plan. Like, she goes back and refers to the plan. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Check this out. Get it at KSL. You can mount it in your vehicle, in your car, in your truck, whatever the case may be, and then just keep it within close proximity to you. It's not something I carry on my person everywhere I go. But think about the first aid. Think about stopping the bleed. Think about dealing with any kind of emergencies. And if your family member or anybody like that is prone to having allergic reactions, think about that, and then keep like maybe an EpiPen with you if need be, or some Benadryl or whatever it is appropriate. Maybe extra medication if you're on meds or something like that. So just keep that in mind. First aid, a solution to the problems, is something that you should keep within close proximity to you. So that's number one, first aid. Now, next up, because it's kind of on topic and we just got done talking about first aid, and now we're hearing weird howling sounds off in the distance. It sounds like a freaking fake wolf or maybe skinwalker. I don't know. But if you got to put a hole in a skinwalker, here you go. You should carry, if you're an adult male or even adult woman, if you're an adult, you should be able to defend yourself. This is a Glock 19 with a fat tack holster. Highly recommend the fat tack holster. It's one of the most comfortable holsters I've ever experienced in my life. I did squats with weight with this holster. Forgot I was carrying because it's that doggone comfortable. I'll leave it link down below. Awesome, good old boys in Tennessee. If nothing else, it's just awesome to support a small business like them because they really took their time in developing this product. Very awesome product. And no matter what kind of gun you have, you can still get a fat tack holster for it. But it sits down low and it's very minimal. Like, it's not some big bulky holster. You forget you're wearing it most of the time. But Glock 19 with the fat tack holster. Figure out what gun is most comfortable for you, which one you're used to, which is like, because if you're not comfortable with the gun, then you're not going to carry the gun. So find one that is comfortable for you. Go to a range. The people there would love to help you out finding the perfect gun for you. Quit with all the soy boy crap. You need to be able to quit relying on other people to defend you. You need to be able to defend yourself and your family. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. Now, this I keep on my person, and I keep it appendix carry just because that's the most comfortable carry for me. Doing the kind of work I do, I'm fine with gaining width this way, but gaining width this way, I get caught and snagged on things. So I keep it appendix carry, and it's good to go there. Now, something that's always within close proximity to me is my AR. Now, the reason that this is in such close proximity to me is because things have been getting, or one of the reasons is that things on this property have been getting crazy. Something that you guys haven't been able to see, or you guys haven't been seeing, is that I keep on stopping this recording because there's just weird sounds going on in the property. There was this fake wolf howl earlier. My pig seemed to be occasionally interacting with something in the back. Yeah, things are just getting a little bit creepy out here, and I just always carry, and then there's also been weird occurrences out at this property before, so I always carry this AR-15 with me. I've got extra mags in the truck. I've got the sling on it, which, you know, just is handy if I'm walking around the property carrying this rifle, which I've been known to do a few times because, you know, things are what they are. But I've got a Vortec red dot on it, and then I have a 3X magnifier on it that can swivel off to the side. We've got a Magpul foregrip, and then a flashlight, like, bam. And then there's the strobe option. Yeah, the flashlight actually just earlier this week came in handy. There was a possum attacking my friend's chickens while I was over there visiting her. And we were able to, you know, wipe out the threat of the possum at night because there's a flashlight on here. Super handy. Ask yourself, like, does it make sense for me to have this within the truck or within close proximity? And if it does, then start getting comfortable with it, start using it. In fact, I want to do a video here coming up where I spend an entire week carrying this thing 24/7. Like, I have a buddy who was in Afghanistan, and he talked about, like, you know, that's a good way to figure out what works on your gun and what doesn't work by carrying it 24/7. What's comfortable, what's not comfortable, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. AR-15, that's what I carry. That's what I keep within close proximity to me, as well as a couple extra magazines, because you just never know. Not fear-mongering, just providing solutions. Now, the next thing I suggest carrying is a flashlight. Now, the type of flashlight you carry doesn't quite, I mean, whatever's comfortable for you. I like this one because it has a base, like a flat base that I can sit it down and it'll act like a torch. And if we were on level ground right here, it would definitely sit upright, but just we're not on level ground, so it'll fall over. But this is the Streamlight Wedge. It fits well in my pocket. That's one of the reasons I got it. And then it has a normal setting that doesn't require me to hold it down or anything like that. And then it has a higher setting that comes in handy. This is something that I, like, at first, when I first started carrying a flashlight, it was more of like an experiment. Like, how often am I really going to use a flashlight? Apparently all the freaking time, especially when I'm trying to get around the room without waking up the baby or my wife. So yeah, that's probably when I use it the most, is when I'm just trying not to wake up the family looking for something. So yeah, this is a Streamlight Wedge. I like it. The pocket clip is super handy, as well as the lanyard. It's easily accessible. And yeah, I usually keep it on my left pocket over here. And that's where I carry that. Now, next up is my Leatherman. This is one of the tools that I use every single day. This is the Leatherman rebar. I would like to upgrade to like the Signal or something like that. I like knives, so them coming out with a version that has the Magna Cut steel in it is really cool to me. Now, I don't find it justifiable at all to pay that price for that Leatherman with the Magna Cut, but there are other options like their P platform, where it's all magnetic and one-hand operation. It takes years of use to get a Leatherman rebar to the point where you can use it all one-handed, but the P platform is all magnetic. I would like to get into that in the future, but this is what I carry for right now, and this is more than enough for what I need to do on a daily basis most of the time. Now, since you see the needle nose here, that's not really the most useful part of this. Like, I use probably the file, the serrated knife, and the saw or the can opener more times than I actually use these needle nose pliers. So instead what I use, so we'll add this to the list, but I also use a small pair of channel locks. Now, this is the Klein brand of channel locks. I used to have the Knipex, and that's exactly how it's pronounced, Knipex. I used to have these small pair of Knipex pliers, and I lost them during that first disaster relief deployment up to North Carolina for Hurricane Helene. I don't know where they went, but as like a punishment for myself, I did not get or spend the money on another pair of Knipex, and instead I got, believe it or not, a cheaper version of the Klein versions of these small channel locks. Now, you might be thinking, dude, that's overkill. That's way too much. That's more than what you need on a day-to-day basis. And I thought so at first until I started carrying it. And then I realized I use these freaking channel locks every single day. I use these over the pair of pliers that I have on my Leatherman every single day. This is one of like, I couldn't recommend carrying a small pair of channel locks enough if you do something similar to what I do. Farming, homesteading, stuff like that. I'm outside a lot. I'm, you know, taking stuff apart, building stuff, whatever it may be. If you have like an office job, then it probably doesn't make as much sense to carry a pair of channel locks on you, but maybe in a bag close by. Something to think about. Now, next up is a wallet. Now, the wallet I like to use, I'm not gonna get you too close on this, but this isn't necessarily my favorite wallet. I got this wallet because my last wallet wore out while I was in North Carolina. It's the Chums wallet. I think I got it at Buc-ee's in Sevierville on my way to the knife store, by the way. One of the best stores in the world. Yeah, I just picked it up. It's a minimalist wallet, but it's also RFID like proof. So anybody who's trying to come up and like scan your cards real quick, this stops that, which was the main thing I was trying to do, and also keeping it like a minimal design. Because the bigger the wallet I have, the more crap I'm going to put in that wallet, and the more I'm going to throw off my back when I'm sitting in the truck. So minimalist wallet, super thin. It limits how much I can carry in my wallet, which is an important thing to me. It might be less important for you guys. But yeah, the RFID stopping ability was a big deal for me, and that's the main reason I got this wallet. So personal preference on the wallet, but you know, obviously you got to carry a wallet. Now let's get into one of my favorite parts, the knife. Now I've shown you guys this knife before. This is the Bradford Guardian 3 with the flat scales. They're not contoured, they're flat scales. They are textured though, in Magna Cut. Now this is the knife that I dropped in a puddle in Texas for 2 weeks, and this is exactly how much rust it accumulated. Which I don't, if you live in Texas, you know that how big of a freaking deal this is. But this is a super comfortable knife. It works in my hand, especially whenever you add the little lanyard there. I like how they maximize the use of space on here, and they bring that choil up past, like your finger choil up past the scales, so that way you still have a large feeling knife without it actually taking up too much doggone space. And then I got the Kydex sheath, aftermarket Kydex sheath. It came with the leather sheath, which is the whole reason it fell in the puddle. It's because it slipped out of the leather sheath after it wearing down for a while, and then fell into the puddle with an Ulti-Clip on it. And if you're unfamiliar with Ulti-Clip, highly recommend checking out Ulti-Clip. This is fantastic. This clip right here is fantastic for whenever you're moving like portable electric netting and stuff. This might catch on the portable electric netting, but you're not going to pull your knife off with that netting. You don't even know how many knives I've lost like folder knives and stuff that didn't clamp onto my pants very well. I've lost so many from just moving animals and moving that netting, and it catches on the knife, pulls the knife out of my pocket. I don't notice it, and then it's gone forever. It's like, for some reason, it hits like a different dimension and just no longer exists in this world. But this is the knife that I highly recommend to people. But here are some other knives, and this is where I was getting it earlier. Here are some other knives that I absolutely love carrying. And then also some ones that you should avoid, and the characteristics of knives you should probably avoid. So first one I'll show you guys is the Paramilitary 2 by Spyderco. It's an awesome knife. This one is in crew wear, very high edge retention, but it will rust on you, so keep that in mind. Burlap micarta on the handles. What I like about the burlap micarta is that as it gets wet or as your hand gets sweaty, it gets grippier. So it's less likely to just slide off of you, out of your hand or anything like that. Also, another cool thing about Spyderco is that they have perfected the jimping. It's not too aggressive and it's not too smooth. It's like the perfect amount of jimping to really keep your thumb or your index finger or whatever you have there in place. But yeah, Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in crew wear with burlap micarta handles or scales, freaking awesome. Also has the compression lock. Now, one thing I look at whenever I have a folding knife is whether or not it's one-hand operation. One thing I don't like about buck knives and that back lock is that it takes 2 hands to close it. Another thing I don't like about your classic case knives is they're crappy knives. Be mad if you want to. Case knives, especially the modern day case knives, quality has gone way downhill, but it takes 2 hands to close that knife. We've done better. We can upgrade. We have made better folding knives. We don't have to keep carrying those. Also, I like a pocket clip on my pocket knife. I don't want to be digging around in my pocket for a knife. I'd rather just grab the edge of my pocket, pull the knife out, and it's good to go. This is another one of quickly becoming one of my favorite knives. And this is how it came with the Kydex sheath and the Ulti-Clip, but it's the TJ Schwartz Overland. So if you like smaller manufacturers and stuff, then I would check this knife out. It's the TJ Schwartz Overland Sport. My bad. The Overland is the bigger version, but this is the Sport, and it just feels good in the hand. Like it's a Warncliffe edge or Warncliffe blade shape where it swoops down here at the bottom. It's also in Magna Cut steel, so it's not going to rust on you. And then everything else on it is pretty decent. Burlap micarta scales, so if your hand gets wet, it kind of gets grippy. And it came with this lanyard with this bead, which really fills out the rest of the knife. Like, I wasn't a big fan of like lanyards and beads at first until I had one on a knife that was a smaller handle. And then I was like, okay, it kind of extends the handle a little bit without taking up any extra space. But this is an awesome knife. TJ Schwartz Overland Sport in Magna Cut. Freaking awesome knife. Speaking of knives, this is something I always keep on me. It's the Work Sharp, what is it called? Work Sharp Field Sharpener. It's awesome. Has a smooth diamond plate. It has a rough diamond plate. a strop, which I use more often than not. If you don't know much about sharpening, you can maintain a lot of knives for a long time without having to sharpen them if you strop them at the end of every day. Also has the ceramic rods, has coarse, fine, and then one for a fish hook. I've never used it for a fish hook. And then it has an even smaller one for serrated knives. Now, if you're interested in it, and if you're a bow hunter, it also has your broadhead wrenches on here as well. So things to keep in mind, this is a very well thought out piece of equipment right here, this Work Sharp sharpener. It's an awesome piece of equipment. I keep it with me. It's always in my backpack that I showed you guys earlier. Something to think about, maintaining your knives and stuff like that. Now, here is an EDC, or here's a budget version of the Magna Cut and the TJ Schwartz Everland that I showed you. This is the Kaiser Beaver. Now, this one is in D2. They make another one, I want to say, in 14C28N, which is another type of, knife steel. But this is the Kaiser Beaver. This thing is like, it packs a punch for this little knife that it is. The lanyard on it is, something that my friend put on himself, but it's an awesome little small pocket fixed blade. There's a saying with pocket fixed blades, like, what's the difference between a pocket fixed blade and a folder? The folder is just a broken pocket fixed blade. But one cool thing I like about the pocket fixed blades is that you can get way more premium materials for a cheaper price because there's less innovation involved in it. There's less moving parts, stuff like that. So you can get some really high quality materials for, a cheaper price because it's all stationary. It's all fixed blade. Now, this is the Kaiser Beaver in D2. They make another one if you like that. But one of the, like, if you're interested about pocket fixed blades and you haven't carried one before and you're not sure if you're going to like it or not, I recommend getting this guy right here. Just because it's like a good entry point into pocket carry fixed blades. Check it out. It's awesome. Moving on is this was a knife that I've wanted for a very, very long time. It is the Spyderco. It's called the Ronin 2, but it's based off of the Spyderco, what's it called? Yohimbo, which is a folding knife. But this is the fixed blade version of that folding knife. I don't know what it is about it, but that blade shape has always stuck out to me. It's just an awesome knife. This is one of those knives where there's no like legitimate logical reason for me wanting this other than I saw it, it looked cool, I really want that knife, and I finally got it here recently. But it's in CTS BD1N, not necessarily a premium steel, not anything special really, but look at that knife. Look at that. Tell me that ain't sick. And then it comes with a Kydex sheath as well. I paired a petrified fish pocket clip on here. Let me show you guys real quick. It just kind of slides in there. It's not the best pocket clip. I'll probably put an ulti clip on it just because I don't necessarily like the way it sits in the pocket at that location. And then it also is harder to sheath the knife with that pocket clip on there, but it's just a different option. Yeah, Spyderco Ronin 2, awesome freaking knife. Man, I like that thing. And then another folder that I carry is the Spyderco Manix Lightweight. This is in Maximet, a very, very rust-prone steel. Just looking at it outside will make it rust. You can see some rust points there as well. But it's also high edge retention. So it's not something that I have to sharpen very frequently, and I can maintain for a long time with just the strop. Here is a knife you should avoid. This was made by Stroop Knives, S-T-R-O-U-P. I bought this at Blade Show, Texas a couple of weeks ago, and by no means am I impressed with this knife. There's multiple, like, just quality control issues with this knife. For example, this edge looks like it should be a flat edge. It's wavy. It's not flat at all. The geometry on the knife itself is off. Like the edge of this knife should be the center of the knife, but instead it leans to the left side of that knife. So there's multiple, like, and then there's also like a gap between the scales and the blade edge right there. Also, the heat treat was garbage on this knife. It's supposed to be 1095, which is a good all-around steel. It's not very good at, like, it's not stainless, so it's not going to be good at rust prevention or anything like that. But as far as like edge retention and toughness, it should be a very good knife. But the heat treat was not done on this properly. I looked up some reviews of this knife, and apparently, I don't know if it's a disgruntled worker, ex-worker or anything like that, but he said it's not actually 1095, and it's something more along the lines of 1084, which, yeah, there's a bunch of different issues. Another friend of mine bought another Stroop knife, different brand and stuff like that. Not a different brand, but a different design. And he's having similar issues with his. In fact, he just recently tried to sharpen it, and it really wouldn't hold an edge, and the steel is kind of gummy. I don't know what the hardness is, the Rockwell hardness is on this, but it's not where it's supposed to be. So just keep that in mind. Just because it's a small manufacturer and just because it's made by veterans does not necessarily mean it is a good knife. And I looked up a lot of the reviews on YouTube about these knives, and most of the people doing the reviews on them haven't actually used the knife. In fact, I really liked this knife until I started using it. And then also this finger choil up here, there's like a sharp burr on the finger choil. So the quality, it looks cool. I mean, it's a cool looking knife. Look at it. Until you start looking closer and you realize like, oh, okay, it's highly flawed. And it's not like it's just a flaw in the design and other people like these designs. It's just quality control. None of this would be an issue if it wasn't for the price point. Like I have no problem spending good money on high quality knives, but I'm spending high price or high quality material prices for something that's very low price as far as materials go, and then also low quality. Like for this knife, I could have bought this one and a friend. Or like for this price, I could have gotten almost 2 of these, which these are fantastic. For this price, I could have gotten like 5 of these. Now, next up, the next thing I carry either on me or within close proximity, and this kind of depends on what I'm wearing. Like when I wear this button-up shirt or a button-up shirt similar to it and I have a shirt pocket, I'll always keep a Write in the Rain notebook with a pen. Now, this pen is made by Heretic Knives. Shout out Homestead Twins. They sent it to me. Awesome, awesome guys. They're hilarious. Go check them out on YouTube, YouTube, Homestead Twins. And then a Write in the Rain notebook. And I just keep notes in it. Like I could use notes on my phone, but it's not the same. Like if I write it down on a piece of paper, I'm more likely to remember than if I were to type something in my phone. Also, I just hate being on my phone as well. So I'd much rather write in a notebook than, you know, in my phone and then forget that I even took a note in my phone. And then, yeah, there's that whole fiasco. But I like to carry this, usually keep it in my shirt pocket if need be. Or I have some other notebook options if I'm not wearing a button up. I always carry my backpack with me. My backpack is always within close proximity. So I'll carry a notebook like this. I've got the Tactile Turn Mini titanium pen right here. It's a bolt action pen. It's just cool. It's fun. It takes the G2 refills, which I really like that pen. The G2 Mini refills. And I use this notebook. Nothing special about this notebook other than it has this elastic band right here to keep everything closed. And I can slide my pen in right there. And that's about the size of the notebook. And then also has a page finder as well. Those are just important things that I look for in a notebook. Everything else is up for debate. Like, and then also this is dotted. I like the dotted instead of the ruled notebook because sometimes I have to draw out diagrams and the dots really help. Like the graph type paper really helps. Another notebook that I carry. Now I have 2 different notebooks for different things. This is video ideas. This is like a to-do list for the day. But right here, this notebook right here is a Write in the Rain notebook. It's waterproof, stuff like that, because sometimes I film videos like today where there's a high chance for rain. So having a Write in the Rain notebook is handy, something that's not going to wash away my notes after well, during use. And then I have a Write in the Rain pen, or pencil, sorry, and then a Write in the Rain Fisher Space pen as well. The Fisher Space pen came with the notebook, but honestly, I like writing in pencil more than I do pen. So I got the pencil. And this was actually given to me at the last Kentucky Sustainable Living Festival. This is absolutely awesome. And then also I carry, well, bad example, but most of the time in this pocket here in the back, I carry some business cards as well. So these are 2 things that I keep on me within close proximity, if not on my person, with the smaller notebook right here. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it gave you guys some ideas on what you should carry, maybe things that you could add to your EDC or subtract to your EDC. Remember, EDC, like the point of it is to carry as little as possible to still get everything you need to do done and still be prepared for whatever the world throws at you. don't be filling your pockets with every little thing. It's just annoying and it's overkill, and it's, you know, it like here, use this barometer for whenever you're trying to add something to your EDC. Like, unless it's like first aid, emergency medical, where it's like a tourniquet, obviously I'm not going to use that very frequently, hopefully never at all. But if you add it to your EDC and then you go a week and you're like, man, I didn't use this thing not one time this whole week, then eliminate it from it. Or unless it's like I said, something emergency medical, that related. But let's say you started carrying like this pocket screwdriver with you in your pocket, and you're like, I'm gonna see if I like carrying this, see if it's helpful. Carry it in there for a week, and if you're like, man, this whole week I didn't use this pocket screwdriver one time, I just used the screwdriver on my Leatherman, then eliminate this from your EDC. Same thing with a lighter. Like, I don't smoke. I have a lighter on me though in my backpack, just in case I ever need to light something. It's one of those types of things. I don't carry it on my person. And then also think about, like, you know, okay, so I record YouTube videos. Things that I usually carry in my backpack are a microphone, like this lapel mic that you see right here. I keep that in my backpack. I also keep a portable battery charger that can it can charge all of my devices multiple times if need be. Stuff like that. Just things to keep in mind whenever you're building an EDC, stuff like that. Now, if you guys have any suggestions, leave them down below in the comments, please. I have actually taken some of you guys' suggestions before and added it to my EDC for a while, so maybe I'll do that in the future, like a future video. Matter of fact, yeah, leave your suggestions down below in the comment section, and in the future, I'll come up with a video. I'll make a video, record myself of carrying your suggested EDC items. That would be a cool video, cool little interactive video between me and you guys. That'll be awesome. So leave them down below in the comments. If you have any suggestions on anything else, please be sure to leave it down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can't wait to see you guys at the events. Hit me up if you need a consultation. Until next time, we'll see you.